Six Flags Magic Mountain has 20 roller coasters, the most in a single theme park on Earth. Coasters like Tatsu, Wonder Woman, Goliath, and Twisted Colossus are highlights here, and X2 will knock your socks off. I meant the roller coaster. On February 1st, 2025, the cousins of Melody Coaster Network were invited on a tour of the maintenance shop. To keep the majority of the coasters running throughout the year, Brad Jordan and his team works around the clock to work on the coaster trains, including parts, restraints, and the wheels. Here's Brad now with the tour, and I hope you enjoy.
Primarily what you got in the shop here right now is a Giovanola ride. I don't know if you're all familiar with the Giovanola, but Giovanola was a manufacturer in 2000. They built two rides, Titan and Goliath, okay? Giovanola is an offshore bridge builder, rig builder, and they got into the roller coaster track system. You know, I mean, they got in the roller coaster business. They were building for Intamin, okay? And Intamin had a couple guys working for them called Bolliger and Mavio, okay? And they had another sidekick named Eric. What's Eric's last name? God, I forget it. Forgive me, Eric, you know? But anyways, they all bailed out from Intamin and became B&M, okay? Eric, I'll share this with you. Eric designed the screen coasters, trains, the Riddler trains, the Batman trains, the Tatsu trains. Eric was a badass. No, there's youngsters here. You didn't hear me say that. No, this dude was on point. You know what I mean? This guy had game going on, and he is a creator, you know. And fortunately, we had B&M take control of when Giovanola folded it. As far as the roller coaster end of it, B&M took it, you know. But they were involved with these guys back in time, you know. So they had an in on it already. So you know what I mean. So they without question took you know the Giovanola rides, you know. So fortunately, we can continue on and build a tip-top thing, you know, out here. If you look over here, we don't just have a Giovanola in here, okay? That right there is Premier Bogies, okay? Okay, the guy that owns Premier John and I both used to work for him. His name's Jim Shea, you know? Smart man, good man, you know? You know each other on a first name basis from far away. He sees John and he knows, hey John, what's going on? Or sees me. But John and I used to both work for Jim Shea, you know? But he's got full throttle West Coast Racers, you know? Man, he's got a good thing going on, you know? But if you see these the Tatsu chassis that you're looking at right now, the coaches, they're in different stages, okay? What we do is, in the end of the day, these are cycle bays, okay? After the train gets so many thousand cycles on it, what we do is we break them down. We break them down, we blast everything, it all gets NDT'd, it gets painted, everything gets replaced on it, and it's like what you got right now. The only thing that you will see that's being reused on them are those wheels. You know, if they ain't worn out, don't throw a bad wheel away, you know, I mean, hey. So, but they're brand new trains again, you know, they're a good, Goliath's our bullet train, you know what, I mean, it's one of those things that, you know what, we got some weather acclimated rides, you know, we got, I mean, seriously, if it's too cold, we can't run Wonder Woman, or you know, if the wind's too high, then we can't run Riddler, we can't run Scream, we can't run Tatsu or X2, you know, our monster. You know, it's 62,000 pounds of love right there, let me tell you. No, you know, I mean, John and I have both been through the first and second generation of X2. We spent hours and hours and hours out there on those rides, on the electrical and mechanical end. John's the electrical guru, you know, where I got the mechanical end of it. But we've been there, we've done it, and thank God I got John working with me. You know, he's my director, and you know what, we worked with each other for decades, you know what I mean? And man, it gels. you know, so we're blessed. So anyways, this is the cycle shop facility. As you see, the guys are tooled up, you know, we got some good guys in here. They're focused on it. It's a job's a blessing, you know. I mean, and it's one of those things that we've got tip-top guys building these trains. You know, I mean, we've got it. You know, John's actually doing it, more improvements for them than my last director, you know, to make this environment really choice. You know, he's got even more in the game plan to expand it, you know, which is going to actually, it's in its works. It's actually being expanded now. But anyways, you got different stages of the Goliath train right here, right now, and it's a Givanola product, you know, and it's a wonderful ride. Have you all ridden Goliath? Yes. All right, I was going to say, if you haven't, if it's going to be your first ride the back seat. Okay. Mm-hmm. Ride the back seat. You got to ride the back seat. You know what? Because I'll tell you what, if you ride the front seat, you go over the crown. As soon as you drop off the crown, it's cool. You know, I was going to say those words. I see you guys again. I'm glad I got the youngsters over here in my view. You know, it's like, got to keep that thing there. No, but you ride the front, you know, it's cool. You go over the top, over the crown, you dive down in that tunnel. It's tip top. But you ride the back seat. That's called an e-ticket ride. If you guys, if those that are old enough to remember what an e-ticket is, you know, but you know, it's something. You're sitting at that, you get negative G's coming off that crown, and boy, I'll tell you, you feel every bit of that 94 miles an hour. You do, you really do, because that's a good ride. That is a good ride. Let me tell you, when we were doing the build on it, and I actually started for Six Flags 30 years ago, but I left Six Flags for 2 years. I wish I hadn't, but I was gone for 2 years and I came back, so I would have 30 years here this year, but now I only got 26, so it's good. But I was fortunately involved with the build of this ride when I came back. You know, and it was really a good experience working with all the engineers from the different corporations involved and everything. And really, I was getting my feet wet because in the roller coaster business, because I was a mechanic from heavy equipment. I went to trade school for heavy equipment, you know. And it's a neat ride. But you guys, through the day, get out there and ride Goliath. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. If you haven't, you got to do it. You know, I mean, that helix is cool, you know, let me tell you, because you'll see it. You'll get that tunnel and it'll close down in on you and then it'll open back up. But no, it brings that blood out of your head, let me tell you. It does. Come on back here.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, guys, watch your step. Don't trip on that.
We're excited to ride.
Watch your step.
Sorry.
That's I've always seen
Let me tell you, it's a good car. It's fun. It's not rough. I like how it's so smooth. Let me tell you guys. When everybody gets out here, I got something to say to you guys. I want to share it with you. You know, because a lot of people don't know what some changes that we've done within this last decade. You know, let me get them out of here.
Come on out, y'all.
6 in about 5 minutes. Standing for 76, 5 minutes.
Is he on the tail end of it?
Yeah. I think you're good.
All right, cool. Here's something else you guys need to do while you're here. Okay? Years ago, you know, when Rev was built, Rev only had a lap bar, but it had nylon wheels on it. you know. Boy, what a rough ride, you know. But then we did a change on it. We put shoulder restraints on it, and boy, could it bang your head up, you know. But we did a change years ago, and if you haven't rode Rev, say that fast 3 times, let me tell you. No, if you haven't rode Rev in the last 10 years, you gotta ride Revolution. The Revolution now has urethane on it. The shoulder restraints are gone. It is so smooth. It is awesome. You know, I mean, it is really a cool ride. You know, I mean, it'll blow your mind. It's nothing you want to. We changed the brake system. We changed the trains. You know, and it's a whole new thing. You know, it's so cool, it's smooth. You know, riding through the mountains and everything. Really a cool ride. I mean, I would like to say Goliath is the smoothest ride we have, but it's a toss-up between Goliath and Revolution.
He's lying.
I mean,
It's Goliath.
Totally Goliath.
It's one of those rides that you got to go on Rev. You know, Rev's an old ride. I rode it. My grandmother brought me here in '76 when it first opened up. You know, and it's got some changes and improvements. You know, and you guys got to check that out. Check out Rev. Rev is so cool. And you know what? It's not like a hard hitter like Riddler, which is actually Riddler's my favorite ride in the park. I got to tell you, that B&M I'm in love with. Since day one, since I started working here, you know what? That something about Riddler, the way it is, the way the ride is, it's like through the loops, through the dive rolls, through the 45. Let me tell you, that ride keeps you right in the middle of that chassis. It keeps you in the seat, and it don't rack you. Batman's a rough puppy, you know. Let me tell you, I mean, it slings you around so quick and fast and everything. It's like rattles my cage. But Riddler,
Tatsu's the B&M ride that you want.
I'm with you on Riddler. It's very underrated.
I love Riddler. Riddler is so cool because you're on that center, where the way you stand and the axis of that center line keeps you so. I mean, it don't throw you off. Some of these rides, if you got a hard hitter that really, you know what I mean by a hard hitter, it's like something that moves fast and throws you around left and right, turns you, tumbles you. Riddler keeps you focused, you know, and it glides, you know. John's trying to do this thing to go to urethane with some urethane on it, you know, and you won't hear it like you hear from now here. You know, that's Riddler, you know. But if we can get to that next step, but it's one of our rides that are on the edge, you know, that we have cold weather, high wind, we got to load it with water dummies, we got to, you know, be ready for it to really open it up early, you know what I mean? It's not Goliath. Goliath, it can be 30 below and 50-mile-an-hour winds. It's opening. That's a bullet. It is. It's a bullet train in there. You know, it really is. But you know, it's one of the acclimated rides. You know, so if we can do that improvement with going with urethane and quiet it down, makes the ride smoother. But it's on the edge. I mean, it's like we'd sit like this, you know, in the weather, hoping it made it. You know, because it's a very expensive ride to pull out of the valley. You know, I think one of our old director from 15, 20 years ago, I think he said something in the area of just under $100,000 with the cost of pulling it out, you know, and doing this, that, and the other, and taking it apart. It's a pain to get that Riddler off the track. Not in storage, but off the track, you know. It's an expensive process. But anyways, we got some good B&Ms. You know, we're blessed with some. We got 4 good B&Ms. You know,
This park's lucky, you guys, that we get a lot of prototypes and a lot of new age stuff. So we're a testing ground for a lot of manufacturers. It exposes the guys to a lot of new technologies and stuff. So with that comes a lot of troubles because some of the stuff's not easy to learn for some of the guys. And with our turnover rate, we're always constantly doing trainings and stuff with everybody. So. Disney and Universal like to cherry pick our guys just because they can't find the people like we can. So they let us train them, and then they pay them a whole lot more money than we do. So,
They should be cutting me and John a check for doing that, you
we
know?
should be getting headhunting fees. Exactly.
You know?
Speaking of prototypes, you guys excited about the new ride?
I have no comments about that.
Yeah, let John take
What?
That was a nice try, though.
What prototype?
No, you know what? John's right though. We've had so many prototypes and stuff. It's like when we did X2. I'll never forget it. You know, we had another foreman that worked with us. You know, his name's Steve Rose, and Steve and I were out on X2 for the first 3-4 months of it. You know, and we sent that first train, and it never came home. Let me tell you. I mean, we were trying to feel it out, you know, and get everything right, and get it down. But you know what? We seen it come home 2 days later and 3 cranes later. You know, I mean, it was a costly thing to find out our envelope. You know, I mean, and you don't know what it is when you got a prototype. You don't. It looks good on paper. You know, and on your monitor, sure, we got this, you know, we got the weight, you know, check the G's, see everything involved. But wait till you actually send that thing off the top of that lift, and the friction that's happening, the wind, you know, and all that involved these are all things that come into play. But we got it down, you know, and you know, prototypes are a handful, and like John said, we keep getting prototypes. You know, it's an ongoing thing, you know.
I just want a flat ride. That's all I want.
Me too. I'm the same. I mean, John and I we're family ride people now. We've got enough. You know, we've got enough of the coasters. We've rode enough of them. You know, we've been dealing with them for decades. You know, we've got plenty to share. You know, now we need some stuff for my mom to ride. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I'd like to take my mom to this park and enjoy the day with my mom, you know? So
this is our weld shop. This is where all the trains, once they're sandblasted and NDT'd, are one of our welders, Frank, he's one of our senior welders. He has been here a long time. He will do any repairs that are found during the NDT portion of it. This right here is a
Twisted
Colossus. Sorry.
And you got a glide chassis up there. And a Ninja axle in front of the glide chassis.
So
actually, no, that's a Twisted Colossus axle up there.
So any repairs that are done by the team with manufactured bulletins or the engineering department or corporate. No repairs are made on. They do all the track repairs. They do anything out in the field that's on any rides or coasters or track control. Questions?
Do you have our ops manager here, Dorian, for a Q&A?
Hey everyone.
So, how about we go back out there a little bit more so everybody can get like a general view and so you can see everybody.
You guys, thank you for everything. I hope you.
Thank you. Very, very good insight from the mechanics team. This park, with 20 coasters with one on the way, needs a team, a well-valued team, to keep all of it together. And they're the ones to do it. They're doing a fine, good job here at Six Flags Magic